Justin?
Hey, Jared, protocols aside, you kind of knew what you were getting into that, but just what were the frustration
Hold
levels?
on one second. Can you say that again?
Yeah. The protocols were what they were. I mean, we kind of knew what the COVID protocols were, but just what were your frustrations, I guess, with sitting out when you kind of had such a personal hot streak going?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, you never want to miss any game, regardless of the situation. But I'm not the first guy to miss a game because of COVID and the rules that they've placed in place for the last couple of years. So it's the way it goes. It was unfortunate. Would have loved to be out there, but it's the way it goes.
And then I asked Dan this, but just the challenges this week of. I'll hold off if you want to check the volume.
Sorry, go ahead.
I asked Dan this, the challenge this week of playing without I guess a tight end you've had on the roster for a while, just the lack of tight ends in the room right now.
Yeah, it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge, but we've had challenges like this every week, and I think we had a challenge, when Swift's been out and Jamal's been out, and we had a challenge when we beat Arizona on defense. We had a lot of guys out. We had Will Harris playing corner. Like, that's a challenge, but it's all stuff that you can overcome, and stuff that we're looking to overcome.
Thanks, Jared.
Yep.
Tim?
Hey, Jared, you mentioned Swift right there. Just what would it mean getting him back? You guys have been so hot offensively in the past game, the last month, really without him. He's such a dynamic player. Just getting him back into that mix too. Just what will that mean for you guys offensively?
Yeah, he's a special talent, special player, and when he's able to get back in the mix, it helps our offense tremendously. So getting him back involved would be great this week, and we'll see how it goes.
And then just a quick follow-up. I know you hit the knee, last time you were out there. How's the knee feeling? Is that troubling you at all? And is that limiting you at all?
Yeah, it's still there. We're still dealing with it. Trying to, it's day by day, but it's still there. I still feel it and working through it.
Chris?
Hey, Jared. I guess just to follow up on that, is it limiting anything you guys are able to do?
All right, one sec. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
This is Solomon's fault. He keeps opening the door. It's okay. Close the door, please. Thank you, Solomon.
Usually is.
All right.
Just to follow up on the knee, I mean, is it limiting anything that you're able to do throwing the ball or outside the pocket? Like, do you think the knee is going to hold you back at all Sunday?
You're saying, is it going to hold me back from what exactly? I'm sorry.
I mean, do you have to adjust anything because of the knee injury? I mean, are there things you can't do right now?
Yeah, there's, I haven't been able to be out there yet since the knee injury. So it's something I'm dealing with, like I said, day to day, and hopefully can get it right.
And then I just wanted to ask real quick about Josh Reynolds. He said, I think after the Arizona game, just how much it meant to him to have the type of opportunity he's getting here to be a number one guy. And as someone who obviously was with him at the start of his career, like, have you been able to feel that from him, just that he embraced that?
Yeah, I think anyone in that situation, he was in a tough situation in Tennessee, and not one that he was happy with, and then gets to a place where people are feeding his confidence and fueling him and making him feel at home, and that can do a whole lot for some people, and you can see it with him. And I've always been excited playing with Josh. He's a great competitor, and it's been fun to have him on the team for this second half of the season.
Thanks, Jared.
All right. Thanks for your time, Jared.
All righty, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Will, can you hear us?
Yep, all good.
Awesome. All right, guys, drop your name in the chat and we can get going with Will. Justin?
So, are you a cornerback now, Will? I mean, what's the plan going forward for you? I guess mentally and physically with kind of the role shift here late in the season.
Right. I mean, mentally, this week, yeah, I'm a corner. But in the in the bigger, grand scheme of things, I'm, whatever this team needs me to do. And, that's something I've been very vocal about, since I've been here. Something I've been, that, everyone knows here is that, well, it's something I try to, uh, reiterate a lot is that, I'm here to do a job, and whatever that job is, whatever they need me to do, I'm here to do it. So whether that's, corner, nickel safety, I'm up for the task.
What do you think this stretch means for your development long term as a defensive back, wherever role you end up playing going forward in the future? Just these reps, playing these man coverage, zone coverage reps from, I guess, a different perspective. How do you think that'll help you going forward?
Well, it's just allowing me to, number one, just get a different perspective on how to see things from different positions. It's one thing to see things with, a safety's eyes, but it's a completely different thing to see, kind of the same thing through a corner's eyes, and through that perspective. So it's just allowing me to be able to kind of build on that and build on those aspects as I, continue to, try to grow as much as I can in these roles. So I'm just very appreciative that, this coaching staff, this organization, believes in me, enough to put me in those situations, to where I'm able to, do those things.
Thanks, Will.
Tim?
Hey, Will, how you doing?
How you doing, Tim?
Good. Hey, there's the kind of this old adage in football, like the more you can do, the more valuable you are. Just how much do you think, having played nickel, now playing outside, playing safety, having done all those things, just how much do you think you've increased your value as a player? Just showing that you can do so many things and kind of be a jack of all trades in this league.
Right. I mean, that's a good question. I've never really thought about it that way. I kind of, just think about it as, Will Harris kind of, just the player, the defensive back. So it's, in certain situations, I kind of need to, like I said, take off, a safety perspective and put on a nickel perspective on how I see things. And sometimes I have to be able to, kind of put down the nickel perspective and, switch over to a corner perspective of seeing things. So it's just allowed me to continue to build, as a player and as an overall, defensive back in this league. And, one thing that I'll say is it's super exciting for me. Just because it's a unique opportunity, and that's kind of what I've seen. Is what I see it as a a really great opportunity, and I don't take that for granted at all. I come to work every day. If my task is to play a certain role, certain job, then my task for that week is to lock in and hone in on that job as if that's been my job since day one.
Thanks, Will.
Justin?
I'm just curious how much you're learning or experiencing new things from a week to week basis. I mean, versus what you saw the first game in Arizona to what you saw this last week, and what you potentially might see this week in Seattle with their excellent receivers.
Well, like we all know, every team's different. Every team's philosophy is different. The coaching tree, the OC, every team's kind of different in how they try to attack you. So I think, the most important thing is just to understand, how these teams are trying to attack you. And that goes for any, position, any spot on the field, is just to know and understand, one, the game plan for the week, and to also marry that with how a team has tried to attack people in the past and how they may try to attack, us in this game as well. So, I'd say that's, important for me, obviously. But that's, I'd say just as a defensive player, in this league, that's very important for, for everybody to understand. So we can all play as a team for sure.
All right. Thanks for your time, Will.
All right, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, awesome. All right, guys, drop your name in the chat. We'll get going for Tim. Tim?
Yep.
Hey, Tim, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Tim to Tim there, a little confusion.
Hey, you got a good name. You got a good name.
Hey, after watching the tape on Monday, I know you talked immediately after the game of things you liked and didn't like to the performance. What was one thing that you stood out that you thought you really did a much better job of than you did the first time around in Cleveland?
I felt like I saw the field really well. I felt like I was making quick, almost at times too quick decisions. It didn't hurt me, but there are opportunities if I were a little bit more patient. I could have had a ball to Josh. I think it was the third play of the game, second play of the game, and then I had another route to Leaf that I could have been a little bit more patient. But in my opinion, I think the fact that I'm working through it and I'm getting through my reads and my progressions is definitely a step up from when I was doing it in Cleveland. But I'll continue to get better at that as well.
Thanks, Tim.
Yeah.
Justin?
When you think about patience, I mean, how critical is just reps and experience to that? We talk all the time about the game slowing down. Is this an instance of that for you? I mean, this isn't preseason, this is regular season. So is it just a matter of you getting a feel for regular season still and developing that patience?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you that preseason is nothing like, real bullets flying. I think maybe the first quarter of preseason, when a couple of guys are out there going, it might feel the same, but every rep that I get in a real game is valuable, whether it's a run, a pass. I mean, it's using my cadence and people getting used to my cadence, as you guys saw. I mean, I got our own guys to jump more than we got the defense to jump, unfortunately, which is, it's we have to assess that. We have to assess why that's happening. And is my voice inflection too hard at times? And, just you have to keep evaluating stuff like that. But with every rep that I'm gonna get, especially right now, and that's the cool part is I'm not a rookie, so I'm not swimming in terms of mentally, and I know what I'm doing physically. And that's the cool part. That right now I feel like my gap of learning, every rep I get is going to be so valuable and so critical. I can really put those in the bank and move forward with them down the road.
And I know the the motto is, I guess, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And so you're, as a backup quarterback, you're always ready to step in. But what is your, I guess, realistic expectation? Jared's not practicing this week. Just had the week off with the COVID diagnosis. Like, are you anticipating to start this week any more than just the standard I'm always ready to start?
Sorry to be boring, but I mean, I feel like I always have to be ready to start. There's always a special, I learned that last year with this whole thing going down, when I was backing up Aaron. I had the real possibility of him popping on a Friday or a Saturday, and all of a sudden, with 0 reps during practice, here you go, Tim, here's your first start. So I kind of went through that mentally last year of understanding that it's so fluid with COVID and with injuries. I mean, it's just, I know staying ready is the best way to do it. I know, sorry for the boring answer, but whether it's Jared or myself, I think we'll both be ready.
You haven't been boring very often, so I guess we can take one or two. I did want to dip back just one thing you said last week, kind of slipped in there when we were having a good discussion about a lot of things, but you mentioned the desire that you wanted to coach someday. And I'm just curious, like, what your vision looks like there. At what level do you hope to coach? What, obviously you're still in the midst of your playing career and you're going to take that as long as you can go. But once you're done with playing, what kind of level coach do you want to be? And, what are your goals there?
It's a tough question. I really haven't given that much thought. Try to stay in the present as much as possible. But I think a lot of that has to do with how long I play in the league and, the relationships that I've built and will continue to build throughout my playing career. But, I had, 4 or 5 different staffs in college that I've maintained relationships with. I've had a Green Bay staff with, Coach McCarthy, and I obviously had Coach LaFleur, and I have this staff. So I think the cool part for me, and this is just who I am as a person, I just love having conversations. I love staying in touch. I love texting and calling and kind of not burning any bridges. So I don't really know how the coaching thing will, really shake out. But I do know in my heart that I feel like I could coach the quarterback position or the offense, or whether it's a head coach. I feel like I could translate my experience and my knowledge and how I view the game well to another quarterback. So I feel like, playing or coaching, you don't really work a day in your life, and we get to play a kid's sport. It's a pretty incredible blessing. But I'm going to try to drag out this career playing as long as I can.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, last one. Back to Tim Twentyman.
Hey, just a real quick question on Seattle. Wagner, 170 tackles, right? He's been doing it for such a long time. But then, they got Brooks over there now too. I think he's got 155 tackles. Just that duo together, and when you watch them on film, what's special about them? What makes it difficult to go against 2 guys that are as productive as those 2 are?
Yeah, I think the first word that comes to mind is they're slippery. And both of those guys have a tremendous amount of experience, but they're just always around the ball. And that's what you're looking for in a good linebacker. You want someone who's always around the ball. And whether it's you're making a tackle or you're making someone miss, I mean, it's being around the ball kind of slows the play down a little bit, and having 2, really good inside linebackers like the Seahawks do makes it challenging. And we're definitely aware of both of those guys. Obviously, Bobby Wagner's been doing it for a long time, and pretty cool that we have the ability to go play against them and compete against them. But, you always have to be aware of where they're at on the field because they're so talented. But it's going to be a good challenge for us, and I think we're up for it.
Thanks, Tim.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks for your time, Tim.
Thanks, guys.
Can you hear us? Awesome.
Yes.
All right, we can start with Corey.
Hey, Swift, how's it going?
Good. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. Just want to know, how you coming along right now with the shoulder injury and your progress in healing.
One more time. I couldn't hear it clearly.
I just want to know how you're coming along with the healing process of your injury, to finish the rest of the season.
Oh man, it's getting better. Training staff, coach have been doing a great job of just letting me get treatment and do different exercises to strengthen it, and it's been getting better.
And just one more quick thing. Michigan's gonna be playing Georgia this week. Just wanna see how you feel about those. How you feel about that matchup?
Oh, real good. I like the dogs. Real good.
Are you sure? You don't want to have any Lions fans hating on you from the state? For picking on your home team or what?
Say it one more time.
I said, you're not worried about any of the Lions fans getting on you for picking your home team?
Nah. I like Georgia. I like Georgia.
All right, thanks a lot.
With you on that one. All right, Tim.
Hey, DeAndre, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Hey, can you just speak to the excitement level of coming back and playing? I mean, this offense has been playing really, really well, the last month, especially in the passing game. We know you were such a big part of that before the injury. Just with Amon-Ra, where he's at over the last month and this passing game really getting going again. How excited are you to get back into the fold of that and be part of it again?
Really excited just to contribute to the team in any way possible. It's been rough. Rough 4 weeks being away from the team, being away from the guys, but seeing them just get better along the season each week. Guys like Saint, everybody, the whole offense, the whole team. I feel like we've been coming closer in these last couple of weeks. But Saint's been doing a great job. Real mature as a rookie. We kind of knew what type of player he was going to be. He's just showing it, showing what we see every day. But the guys been doing great. I'm just grateful to be able to get back out there and play with them.
Thanks.
Justin.
Hey, DeAndre, a little bit more on that. We talked to your coach today, and he said you've really been pushing to get back out in the field. And, I don't think fans always understand why a guy wants to come back with a couple games left, nothing on the line in terms of playoffs or anything like that. So just from your perspective, can you explain why it's important for you to get back out there and play these last two games?
Man, I feel like God put me on this earth for football, to play football, to affect people around me. I love the game so much. So any opportunity I have, whether it's 2 games, 1 games, losing record, winning record, I'm gonna do my best to step my foot out there and play for my teammates, for my brothers. Just love the game so much. Like I said, I'm excited to be able to get back and just contribute in any way possible for these last 2 games.
And then Dan also said it's a really big, just opportunity for you to learn and develop. You still only have, 24 games under your belt. So in these 2 games, is there something specific that you want to focus on that you're trying to, maybe sand out in your own game?
First and foremost, I want to be able to experience a win with this team. Experience one with them this season. Experience a win. Just looking to get better in every aspect of my game. Like Coach said, I'm still a learner. I'm still a young player. I'm looking to get better every aspect. So with these 2 games, last 2 games, I'm looking forward to it.
And the silver lining of you being out was Craig got an opportunity. Just your thoughts, emotions of seeing a guy that's been grinding on the practice squad all year to come out and have a 100-yard game, the performance that he's had.
Oh, real happy for him. He's done a phenomenal job. I knew what type of player Craig was before he even got here. He's from the Philly area, so we get to work out a lot together, and I knew what type of player we was getting when he came. So just to allow him to see the opportunity he got and him making the most of each opportunity he was given, it was phenomenal. I'm real happy for him.
Thanks, DeAndre.
All right. Thanks for your time, DeAndre.
Thank y'all.